because I think preparation is so key, so critical in bringing the best performance you can. And because you mentioned it, I'll ask you, Alex, how did you how else did you prepare for the role of Man versus Food? And then I want to know, how did you prepare for a long, long time?
So for Man versus Food, I basically was kind of just, I would say I was almost playing myself in that one, because I guess through when I was doing that one, I was also going through my own type of like fitness journey, I guess you could say. I like before the shoot, I kind of like dropped like 5 pounds. I started like going to the gym about like I guess maybe 3 months before we did it, like just because I had to like, doctor said, you got to go to the gym and work out, stay a little healthy. So I kind of was, I guess, playing myself in a different time, I guess you could say. Like I was already trying to get a little more healthy. Then when we did the thing, I could put myself in that kind of mindset, like where I was already at. So not like for that one, not much preparation was like kind of needed to be done. But I guess with long, long time, because I was playing such a complete opposite character, I really had to put myself in and immerse myself into the environment, I guess, as much as I could into World War II history and things like that.
Yeah, the era. And you explained that just earlier, where you would research and just learn more about what World War II was all about and how it affected millions of people and really the world going forward in
Yeah.
the century. And that experience is critical. The authenticity, we always discuss it on this podcast, is so crucial. And from just hearing how you described your preparation, I think it's safe to say that you respect both stories.
Yeah.
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 So with Man versus Food, you understood what a character needs to go through, or a real life person, I should say, when they're on a health regimen, and how important health is to your longevity. And with this long, long time, you have this era that you respect and you're naturally interested in. And I think that that's what makes for a great performance, but also it sells the audience that you're legitimate and you can be trusted with the material.
Right. Right.
I wanted to go, sorry?
No, I just think we felt like a huge responsibility too with long, long time.
Okay.
Because
How
like
so?
when you're playing like somebody like, well, Man versus Food, it's something, it's completely sort of like made up and fictional, right? Or
Right.
that's it's based on things that happen to real people, but there's no responsibility to have to do something justice, specifically,
Yeah.
And in long, long time, Alex is wearing like a real soldier's uniform, like somebody from the war's uniform.
Wow.
In that movie.
That's
so
amazing.
like, it's just like, you just like, if you're gonna step into that uniform and go onto that set and have to do that, like you gotta like, there's a responsibility, like you really gotta come prepared and not, mess it up. And his character is so, it's it's such a nuanced and specific thing. He did a great job of describing it, about like, the outer shell is incredibly like, vibrant, and that, but that's sort of hiding the inner shell. That's
right.
that's hiding. That's what he's like pushing out to
Concealing,
hide what's happening inside.
He's concealing his true self because he's afraid of, that ridicule or judgment, and that's the basic human condition. No one wants to be judged for any matter, and how vulnerable is a soldier going through that experience? And especially in those times, I'm sure that's something that's explored in the movie, where this is a different era. People are talking about mental health all the time. So I'm getting updates, oh, we're experiencing mental health because of the pandemic, and these are the solutions. But you wind back the clocks a few decades, and no one was talking about mental health, and there was probably not even any treatments. Is that something that you found important to explore, Eric?
Yeah, that was a huge sort of portion of the story.
Great.
I was really interested in exploring like there's been so many movies exploring the journey of soldiers that like in the war, and fighting in the war, and then going off to war. But I don't know. I haven't seen as many movies about what happens when they tried to come back. It all sort of seems like everything went back to normal, but I don't really think that's the case. And I don't think that's like sort of a gray area where there haven't been a lot of movies made about that sort of like reintegration. Like, how do you come back from the war and be okay with that
and reintegrate with society, I guess, right?
Yeah. The one that comes closest to mind is American Sniper, with Bradley Cooper.
Right.
That's basically, and they did one Clint Eastwood, master at his craft. They did where basically he's in the war and then he's back, and it's like a cross between. But the performance, credit to the performance of Bradley Cooper. It was really sold on the idea this guy has seen some shit and he's really suffering. And yeah, that's what comes to mind when you explain long time is exploring. It's not the war itself. It's, the aftermath, how it affects people. Right. And Eric knows this. I have to always bring up Tarantino, but Reservoir Dogs, same concept, right? It's not about war, but it's not about the bank heist. It's about the characters and how it affected them.